You're listening to the Full Phoenix Rising podcast. A church as a positive disruption for good. Full Phoenix Rising Part 2, talking about weird stories that have happened to me in church. Not a comprehensive list. I gave 3 last week. I'm going to give 2 this week. I don't even know what the point of it, apart from saying weird stuff happens in churches and sometimes we make giant mistakes. And so this one is, I was a youth pastor at a church called Macquarie Chapel. This is very important. Macquarie, spelled Macquarie. Macquarie. And we were making a decision that we wanted to do a big investment in the local university's open day. And so middle of summer, this is mid to late January, February, hot days. And so we're like, let's have cold water there. So we're going to have air skis, we're going to have people, we're going to have a design that looks really funky. We're going to print up like specially made water bottles that we can give out to all the university students to invite them to our church. It's going to be a great thing. And we even had them printed so that the label actually sat on the back of the water bottle. And so you would look through the front of the water bottle and you would see the Macquarie Chapel logo and an invitation on the back of that sticker. Real complex stuff. My senior pastor and I made up 2,000 custom water bottles with an invitation on it. The thing is that my senior pastor and I, similar personalities, and we weren't very good at proofreading things. And so they arrived and they said, Macquarie, Macquaire. Very wrong. And we didn't have the budget to fix them. So for 6 hours at an open day, we were ruthlessly mocked by students over misspelling our very own church's name. And we had to hand out every single one of those 2,000 stupid water bottles, and not a single person showed up to church that Sunday. Macquarie Chapel, Eastwood. Still exists today. If you're at Macquarie Chapel, bless you guys. That's what we did. And so I just felt like for 6 hours, it was like a resilience building exercise of people who relentlessly mocked us. Zero tolerance. Stopped in to complain. And I think at any stage, if you were getting into pastoral ministry, what you should do is misspell the name of your church and then go to a local university and hand out those water bottles, because they will rip you to shreds, and it will be a fast way for you to build resilience. I don't know if I can accurately portray this story, but I'm going to try it anyway. The church I was at in the States, was an incredible experience. Top 5 area in the States during the global financial crisis to experience like a collapse in the housing market. So the place we were in Arizona, home prices dropped by almost 80%. So there was just like mass brokenness. And it was incredible because you would take these moments to walk into cafes and people just had lost everything. And so you had this opportunity to share the love of Jesus with people in those areas, and just radical life change. And so I think in the first 8 months we were there, the church went from like 80 people on a Sunday to almost 700. And a large portion of that, like I mean 70 to 80%, was conversion growth. So these are first-time people coming into church who have never had a church experience, having a church experience. And so I'm in charge of small groups. And as part of that, we just don't have enough leaders for small groups. And we had this one individual who was an extraordinary human being, and was really growing in her love and affection of Jesus. And I just said, hey, listen, would you ma'am, would you be willing to lead a small group for us? And she was like, yeah, sure. But I've only been coming to church for like 3 months. Like, I'm a 3-month-old Christian. And I'm like, that's great. You can lead the 1-week-old Christians. But it was like a mad scramble to find anyone who had any capacity to lead anything. And this individual says to me, I need to confess, I still work at the burlesque style lingerie bar at the local casino. Are you okay with me leading the women's small group? Now, I know it's wrong, and I'm trying to get into a new job, but right now I'm still a waitress at the burlesque bar. Do you still want me to do this? You know, I've put in for a transfer. It's not done yet, and I was just like, just don't hold your Bible study at work. Like, I need you as a leader, and I'm so thankful for you being honest with me. And yeah, like, I don't need to explain. It's probably not the best job in the world for a Christian to have, is to be a lingerie bar attendee. I didn't even know that existed, by the way. That was a new experience for me. And so she was a small group leader for about 3 weeks before she changed her job, and like actually got promoted to leadership, and then became executive leadership within the casino, and then felt convicted that she shouldn't be working for a casino, and went off into executive leader elsewhere. But I want to just be honest and say I was the leader who took a gamble on her before anyone else would. Anyway, really thankful for her leading that group. And it also reminded us that we should not eat a meal at the casinos on Tuesday and Thursday in the particular town I lived in Phoenix. Those are the two most weird stories to wrap out the 5 from last week. We're on a Discord channel. I'm terrible on social media, partially because I think it's not good, and I'm getting old, and I'm finding more stuff that's not good. Maybe I'm just getting cranky. So if you've got comments or thoughts, you can find us on Instagram. You can leave a comment there, but the easiest way to find us is on the Discord channel, Full Phoenix Rising. I think that's in the link on Instagram. I'll try and put it in the link on this episode as well. If you've got weird stories that you'd like to share, I'd love this to be a thing. Share those weird stories. I'd love to hear from you. Full Phoenix Rising Discord channel is the place to do it. It's like a directed conversation about this podcast is what it is. It's just a different place for groups. Do it there. You can do it on the Instagram. You could DM the Full Phoenix Rising Instagram profile. The image is the same image as what's on this podcast. If you've got a weird story, let me know. Okay, that's the end. Weird Stories Part 2. I'll be back again next week. See you then.